Hello, this is Paul Chek. Welcome back to my video blog. Today I thought I'd share a little bit of the inner work that I do out here in my stone circle. What I'm going to show you today is a way to learn to develop your capacity for feeling. It has to do with shapes. So I've chosen a square, a triangle, an inverted triangle, and a circle. Now, an interesting thing Steiner talks about, Jung talks about, and a number of others, is that once you get to pure potential, beyond everything that's can be weighed, measured, or known as this or that, that's pure potential, or you're in the realm of the superconscious, non-locality, or non-relational space. That's where the potential for everything exists. If you study the development of a child's mind, you'll find that they get images long before they get language. And if you look at the structures or the images that the child gets, you get these very basic forms that start off as wiggles and hashes, and then you start to see things like circles and triangles progressively developing. And it's very interesting because when we have images come to us, it triggers thoughts in us. And if we're not conscious of the images that we're allowing ourselves to put our attention on, then we don't realize that those kinds of images can have a deleterious effect, a negative effect on us. And this is why, for example, it's really not a good idea to let children watch stuff on television that has images that are not healthy for them, such as people being shot up or cut up or beat up and that kind of stuff. So today I'd like to just show you a simple exercise that you can do. Now you can do this, you can do it very simply. You can literally just take a stick and draw any shape on the ground that you want to, circle, square, star, you name it. Rectangle, whatever you can draw and step into, you can do this with. So here is my big circle that I keep here all the time. So the first thing we'll do is, what I would encourage you to do if you really want to do this well, is just pause the recording for a second. Do about 3 or 4 minutes of 4, 6, 8 breathing. So inhale for 4 through your nose, fill your belly, hold it in for 6, and then let it out through your nose or mouth for 8 seconds. And make sure you get all the air out of you without forcing too much. You don't want to muscle it up. And that'll activate your parasympathetic system, balance you, and calm you. So then we're going to go into the circle. Now, if you're ready to pay close attention, just put your awareness on me and what you're feeling coming through the camera. You're picking up light right now, and light has an infinite capacity to carry information. Because I'm projecting light to you, otherwise you wouldn't see me. When it shifts me, it'll shift my light, which will shift you. So notice when I step in the circle, what happens inside of you. Now, because it's a circle, it likes to radiate its energy out just like the sun. So the first thing that happens is I feel my energy radiating outward like I'm a light bulb. Now, I'm not going to tell you what I feel in all these because I want you to pay attention and go practice yourself. And if I tell you too much, then your brain will just lock onto that and recreate what I said, not what's actually happening, which is why throughout antiquity, all the great spiritual teachers, Buddha, Lao Tzu, Jesus, they didn't want people writing things down because then they wouldn't have the experience themselves. Jesus was a Gnostic, and the Gnostics were all about authentic, original experience. So now we're going to go to the upward-facing triangle. The upward-facing triangle, I've pointed it north. In alchemy, that's the symbol of fire. So now I just relax myself, get a sense of my energy inside of myself, and I step in. And I feel a definite shift in my energy. And And just so you can pay attention, just put your awareness on me, feel what's happening in your body, and then I'll step out. And there should be a noticeable shift inside of you. And I'll step back in. And there's a shift. Quite noticeable. So that's a masculine triangle. The upward facing triangle in alchemy is the symbol of fire. Here I have a downward facing triangle, which in alchemy is the symbol for water. This is yang, or the masculine, yin, the feminine, fire, water. So now pay attention to what you feel as you focus on me. And now I'll step in. And there's a definite shift there. Now for those of you that can't feel it, as I'm doing this, a tip for you, if you just go get some Bach flower rescue remedy and put 4 drops on your tongue, if you don't feel an energetic shift, it's an indication that your subtle energy pathways are clogged up and that you probably need to do some detoxification and some form of healing. And if you start by taking 4 drops of that a day, that'll help clear your field. That's a test I do with my students and my patients when I'm working with them to determine what kind of approach I may have to take. So I'll step out again. Just pay attention to my energy by just focusing on me. And now I'll step in. And now I'll step out. And now I'll step into the masculine. That's fun. Okay, so then we're going to go to the square. Now the square is an ancient symbol of containment. It means the home. For example, the square symbolizes the home. The square is also the symbol for earth in alchemy, and it has a feminine quality. So what you can do is just pay attention to me and feel my energy, and then I'll step in. Now I'll give you a tip. If you've done any plant medicine journeys and you feel a bit blown out of yourself afterward, make a square on the ground and then just come sit in it, relax, and meditate, or do a standing meditation in a stone square, or draw a square on the ground. And as you inhale, visualize that you're a tree reaching for the stars. And as you exhale, visualize that you're growing roots deeper and deeper toward the center of the earth, and that'll have a very powerful grounding effect on you. I'll step out now, pay attention. Remember, I'm stepping into a circle, and from a circle into a square. Here I go. I don't want to say too much because I would like you to have your own experience. Now I'll step out, and then we'll go to the circle. Now I'm already in a circle, but I'm going to step into another circle. It's a little more tightly bound, so you should feel a shift because these other patterns inside the circle are affecting it. So here we go. Get a sense of my energy. Just connect to me, open your heart. It's quite powerful. And now feel what happens when I step out. Now I'll step into the square. Now I'll step out. And now I'll step in. So this is a very simple exercise, and by using stones like this, you get physical exercise, but then you take time to work with the shapes that you're creating, and you go into receptive mode, feminine mode, yin, and you just Be very sensitive to how your blood is moving, how your energy is moving, what's happening around your eyes and your face where the capillaries come to the surface. The blood carries the etheric force or the life force energy in the body. So oftentimes when there's shifts in energy, you can feel it around your eyes and your face and your cheeks quite well, and even in your fingertips. So by doing these things, you not only get to be creative and keep yourself fit, but you get to develop your inner awareness of how shape or form changes your energy levels. And that's what the art of feng shui is all about when it's applied to a piece of property or to your home or even to art and other things. So I hope you enjoyed this little exercise today. That's the kind of things I do to grow myself and have fun, and I hope you enjoy it too. Remember, you don't have to go through the work of using stones. You can actually just take a stick and draw them on the ground, and if they're big enough for you to step in and step out, a simple exercise is do an upward facing triangle, so it would be oriented toward you. So whatever your orientation is, that's upward and downward. And then you step into one, out, step into the other, or fire, water, and the circle is a symbol of wholeness, and the square is a symbol of home. So you can learn to experience these basic shapes. For those of you that like to do art, you can feel which energy is most nourishing to your body. And if a square is really grounding for you, like I said, after doing plant medicines, you could do a piece of art that's made of nothing but squares, and it would have a very positive grounding effect on you. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Paul Chek. If you like this kind of stuff, check out my Holistic Lifestyle Coach Level 1 program online. If you like that, then come to HLC2, and we'll teach you how to coach people professionally and make a living sharing your love with the world. See you next time.